back to Five Lakes Garage, and hopefully you caught part one of our scouting trip for camping. Hopefully that answers some of the questions of some of the new scouts that we have coming into the organization. This particular one, this episode is going to be a continuation of that and things that you can bring while on we call it trunk camping. So basically whatever you can fit in the back of your truck. Hopefully this will help out a little bit on what to get, what to bring, how to set it up, and maybe answer any of the other questions. But of course, if you have any other questions, please leave it in the comments and I will do my best to actually answer all of them. So stay tuned and enjoy. All right, like I said before, this is not everything we're going to be carrying on our backs. This actually was carried in the back of the truck, but it's everything you need to actually comfortably camp out in the woods. Now you're still out here, you're still in the woods, you're still doing stuff that you don't usually do. You don't have electricity, you don't have running water, but it's still here and you can bring it with you to make life a lot easier. So come on around and we'll go through each one really quick. All right, so one of the things that you're gonna need after you finish cooking, you're setting up, you need to clean, right? So we had 3 little buckets here. You always want to carry 3 because you're gonna put 1 with soap in it, 1 with water in it, and 1 with sanitation. Now the sanitation is basically you fill it with hot water, you put a little bit of bleach in there, and all that's gonna do is actually kill all the bacteria so that you do not get sick while you're out here in the woods. Now the soap that you want to use is more the camping soap. You don't want to use any of the regular dishwashing soap because it's not that great for the environment. So we want to try to preserve this lovely environment that we can go out here and still use when we go camping. So also while you're out here, you can carry a whole lot more water. So what we're going to do is actually have a bladder. Now this bladder here holds about 5 gallons, and you can stick it up into a tree. So you have a little hook on it. Now how are you going to get up in the tree? One thing that I like to use to make it a lot easier would be a pulley. So I will actually permanently put this up into a tree. I'll use some paracord to go around and I'll just hoist it up. It's a lot easier besides having to hold it up with one hand and pull it around. Now with 5 gallons of water in there, each water gallon is 8.5 pounds. You can do the math. That thing is going to get heavy to try to lift it up with one hand. Not the greatest thing in the world. Anyway, so come on over here and let's get cooking. All right, so we're out here camping and we need to cook. Well, if you saw some of my other videos, we do have the chug box. It's back out from storage. So we're also going to need light. You can bring your big old trusty lantern. Also, always want to bring your safety first aid kit. Always have that available. But everything else here, you have your giant water jug that you can do coffee, you can do cooking, you can do whichever. You also have burners. You got a couple of them there. You got this one right here. These use little propane tanks. Works out great. And you can do all your cooking here. Also need a small little mess kit. If you're going around the fire, there you go. You always need your marshmallow stick. It's very important, especially for scouts. You bring out marshmallows and chocolate, they're like locusts. Anyway, so you do have your chug box. You have all your cleaning gear. One thing that's actually really important to bring is aluminum foil. It's very, you can do almost anything with it. You can store food with it, put it back into your cooler. You can crumple it up into a ball and use it for cleaning. Like if you don't have any more Brillo pads, ball it up, scrub it down. It works like a champ. So, also paper towel or a towel or something like that. One other really important thing, trash can. All right, with scouts, you always bring out what you bring in. You do not leave anything out in the woods. So we have a trash can. This particular one, you stick your bag inside. When you're ready to go to sleep at night, you can close it up. You have 2 handles. You stick a string to it, and that same pulley we used before, hoist it up a tree. So then bears and other stuff can't get to it and make a huge mess. And then also take the plastic bag tied up as best you can so that the smell doesn't get out as much. They're still gonna get out, but it won't be as bad. So we are still in the back of the truck so we can carry more weight. Just bring a little table, just a little folding table. It works great. Sometimes you're in an area that doesn't have picnic tables and that type of stuff. That works awesome. Okay, so if you saw some of the other videos, you know I love Dutch oven cooking. It is unbelievably awesome, totally delicious. Every day my kids always ask me when we're going to make chili mac again. So we have a Dutch oven, we have a welding glove Now with the welding glove, you can grab a hold of hot coals. It does not hurt you. It's really good to have. I only have one, but that's okay. That's all I need. All right, so you need your little tool here to be able to lift your lid up, to be able to get inside. You got your chimney for all of your charcoal. Good set of grilling tongs. Now this right here, if you don't have your glove, you can use these for actually moving around charcoal. So you're able to, gotta put it on top, gotta put it on the bottom, all that type of stuff. And if you follow some of the other videos, you do a lot of that. So awesome to have. Also need a lighter. Now this little tub right here is actually from a hot water heat tank. I always bring this out here for a couple of reasons. One, it's sturdy enough to where it will hold your pot. Now your pot does have legs on the bottom. You can see the legs. Now if I put charcoal on the ground and I put the pot on top of that, eventually it'll start sinking. And then if it sinks, all your charcoal on the bottom is actually going to smother and go out. You don't have any heat. It's not that great. So I do bring this around with me so it keeps air and keeps the charcoal underneath actually lit. And also, I can put this right on top of that picnic table or on that plastic table right there, and it will not burn through because there's enough air going underneath this that will actually cool it off and it will be safe. So it is a safety thing. It's also a convenient thing because then it doesn't sink down and it works out great. Before we get over to the fireplace real quick, a couple of little odds and ends that you really need to bring. Now if you're out here camping, you have a bunch of things to do. One of the things, let's say you are done teaching, you're done learning, you're done all this other stuff, you're kind of tired, you just want to have fun. Bring a football. This is a very small one. It's a squishy, it's a Nerf ball, but you can throw it. You can have fun with somebody else. Works out great. Try to keep your sanity, especially if you get lost. All right, so when you're out here camping or whatever, you can bring simple things. This right here is a fly rod. Fly rod is really easy to use. You can actually catch some really big fish with it if you use the right stuff. Also, grab some light tackle fishing gear. I just got a lure on this guy. I just leave it up there. I can go out to the pond that's right behind me, and it works out great. You catch bass, actually I caught catfish on that thing. Excuse me. But bring it with you, have some fun, enjoy yourself while you're in nature. It doesn't happen very often. Now the last thing that you need to set up, all right here on the back of the chug box, I just put a simple little bungee cord and my utensils. I got everything here. I have cutting board. I have a cleaning pad. Also have forks, knives, spoons, forks, more knives, everything in one little tight little thing. And also this one right here is very important because, you know, if you're out camping, you might have a bottle of wine that you need to open up. Boom, there you go. You got a wine bottle opener. Okay, so you saw where we eat, you saw where we sleep. You saw that we have items around to keep ourselves sane and entertained in the woods. Well, let's say it's getting dark and it's getting cold. Well, you're going to spend a lot of time around the campfire. It is a relaxing time. It actually works out pretty well. Let your mind kind of relax. And then try to yell at little children running around the woods without, you know, there. So yes, you can start yelling at your kids from running around the woods. So we have a campfire here. This is the fire ring. It is very safe. This was actually an Eagle project, and it is very large. But we do have quite a bit of people that are in the pack and also in the troop, and we need one this big, and we've had fires in here that kept us all warm, which is great. So one of the things that they did actually put in here, integrated, was a small cooking area. And now, let's say you run out of gas. You don't want to be cooking over there. You want to cook over here. So what we have here is a very simple a campfire grate. So you just stick this right over here on top. Always carry around a little brush. This is just a grill brush. Once this is nice and hot, you can clean it off and keep it clean. So you don't really want to just throw a hot flame underneath this to be able to cook. You want to use the coals. You want to use the heat, not the fire. So you get a nice raging fire going over here. You take some of the coals from the bottom, drape it over here, stick your grate on top, and then you can cook it right away. Cast iron. I've cooked breakfast over here. My daughter Reese actually, when I was cooking some breakfast one camp out, loved it so much she couldn't stop drooling, and that drool went from her mouth to her shirt down to our pants. You know, I can't stop drooling, it's just so good. I don't know what it is about bacon and eggs out on the campfire, but it's awesome. But anyway, so yes, you can cook out here, you can relax, bring yourself a nice little sturdy chair, bring yourself a beverage, whatever you need to do, but always be safe with it. That's why you always have a fire bucket. If you have an open flame and you have a fire, you should always have something to be able to put it out. If you are out hiking, you can go out there and grab a small fire extinguisher just for safety, or carry a bucket, have water ready, because at the end of the night you really want to put the fire out and make sure it is cold out, not just out. If you throw 5 gallons of water on here, oh yeah, it's out. Yeah, not really. You always want to make it to where it is out so much that you can put your hand on it and not burn yourself. Just be careful with that. Anyway, so hopefully you like this video. Go ahead and post down. I know there's a lot of other items out there on the market that we don't have and we might not even know about. So put them down in the comments to be able to teach everybody else. And that's the only reason why we're doing this, is just to teach everybody. Share knowledge. That's what we want to do. So this is going to be an ongoing series, a little bit more. Scouting did start up. It is during the pandemic, so scouting's a little slow, but we're going to try to put these videos in there to still try to be able to teach the scouts some of these skills and some of the things that they're missing out on. And a couple of the other videos, we're going to be doing some knot tying. That's very important in scouts. It's very good for survival. There's a bunch of different knots that are fantastic. Some of them are just, you know, knots. Don't really need them, don't really serve a purpose, but it's a good knot to know. Keep past the time. Anyway, so like I said, it is the time of the pandemic. One thing, always bring your mask. You don't really need it out here in the woods, especially if you're by yourself. Actually, if you're by yourself, I don't really think you really want to wear it. But if another hiker comes in or whatever, just wear a mask. Try to be safe. Keep each other safe. Most of these, the mask is really for the other person, not for you. So you're not spitting on them and actually getting them sick. Anyway, stay tuned, and hopefully we will get back out here in the woods and actually spend the whole weekend. It's going to be fantastic. I'll see you then, right here.